Welcome back to Breakfast Daily on Channel One TV. Earlier, when we started the show, we asked you to share with us how you were able to get to work. Was there a gridlock on your stretch? The rain situation in your area, among other things. A message came through, Jifa. Interesting message.
Yes, very
Hi, Channel
interesting
One. The rains are a blessing to me because I have the privilege of working from home and going to the office once a month.
And the person is in Dowenya.
Yes.
So I was asking you early on that, I mean, if you live in Dowenya,
how will you be going to?
Yes, why would you work from home?
But you see, working from home and going to the office once a month is convenient.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So cool.
So you get to save your salary, the transportation fare and all that is in your pocket. If there's a fuel price hike, you're not bothered.
It has nothing on you.
Transport fare hike. It has nothing to do with you. But let's go down to some of the areas that we suspect that would have sort of flooding in these areas. Our man here, Stephen Wanompe, is joining us with some feed and some videos from the Kaneshi First Light area, and he's going to tell us what he has witnessed in that particular enclave. Mind you, areas like Weja to Kaswa also have their issues. An area like Shashi also, there is an issue there every now and then when it rains. But if Stephen is on, Stephen, good morning.
Hey, Philip.
I trust you are doing well.
I'm okay, Philip. How are you doing yourself?
We are doing great. What is the situation like at First Light, aftermath of rains?
So right here at First Light, which you know is a flood-prone area, there's not many signs, or there are not many signs of flooding going on. Just a few, puddles of water cutting around. Yeah. Just a few puddles. Also, there's police presence here. Directing traffic, making sure there's no hold up. But as far as the flooding is concerned, there's not much going on. There's not much going on, to be honest.
Is that to say that the Kaneshi area didn't experience heavy rains? For that reason, we don't have much flood there, or per what you've been told by residents or motorists around, some sort of work has been done to get the water to flow when it rains?
After speaking with some residents in the area, they tell me that the rain came early, a bit early, yes, and I've done around, let's say, 4 or 5 somewhere there. So that is the reason they think there's no flooding going on as of now. Yes, most of them came here around 7:30 to set up shop and start business for the day. You can still see a few of them still, open up shop because the rain beneath that. However, they tell me that the floodings are not serious today because of the time the rain came. So as to whether they are indicating that the drainage system did its job over here, I'm not entirely sure myself, but that's what I'm told.
All right, Steve, so I'm concerned about the sanitation issue, especially when we experience rainfall or heavy rainfall as we had earlier this morning. What is the sanitation situation in Kaneshi and some of the areas you've been through?
Well, you can see the amount of refuse at the side of the road. Gathered at the side of the road over there. The pavement blocks are settled. We have rubbish all gathered here. You can see gutters have not had the rubbish is packing at the side of the gutters. As I'm speaking to you now, I'm seeing individuals attempting to clean, but it's obvious that that's the state of the place as we speak. Yeah.
I see. You mentioned that they are saying that's a regular practice over there.
Yes.
So were you able to engage some of them as to why that has become a regular practice and why maybe the sanitation, what's the name, the Zoom Lion or whichever private organization is responsible for collecting the trash hasn't come for it yet, and we are seeing exposure of trash all over the streets?
But from interacting with them, a lot of them tell me that they do come, but as to how often it is, they can't tell. It's sounding like it's rare at this point in time.
Again, are we seeing plastic waste in some of the drains in Kaneshi and its areas, or the drains are covered?
No, the drains are not covered. We are seeing plastic waste. We are seeing seeing fruits, the Kyoto rabbits, the styrofoam, and all that, all over the place. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, Stephen, before the first light area that you are currently stationed, I'm sure you drove through some areas before you got to the place. How is it like in general? Did you witness any gridlock or traffic is flowing?
After during when I was going around, I passed around on Dock Hall and those areas, and I didn't see any gridlock. The traffic lights are functioning. The place that have the traffic lights functioning have police stations there, so there's not much of gridlock going on there. However, the puddles of water persist all around those areas, as well as the mounds of plastic waste gathered at the side of the road. Yeah.
Were the police officers there from MTTD? Is that to say that the traffic lights there aren't working, or they are just there to also augment the efforts of the traffic lights?
The main traffic light here at First Light Kaneshi is not working. It's not functional. So the police are the ones who are serving to, regulate the flow of traffic here.
Is the traffic lights malfunctioning as a result of this morning's rain, or how long has this been? Have you been able to find out?
Engaging people on that. I'm told that the traffic lights have had issues before the rain came.
Steve, do something for us. There are shops around. I'm sure they may be preparing for the rains ahead. If you could engage one or two of them, find out for us what their preparation is like, as we are going to experience more rains, because you know that for the First Light Kaneshi area, often it's flat. So if with this rain that we witnessed this morning hasn't resulted in much flood there, what is the preparedness for the shop owners or people who stay around, as we are expecting more rains in the coming days?
All right, so I'm here in the shop of a gentleman who sells TV sets right at the edge of the traffic lights, and I'm going to engage them on that regard. Hello, sir. So we have seen that the rains have come suddenly at dawn today, and we want to know what preparations are you making for the rains that come, because the rains come with different issues. So what preparations are you making for the coming rains?
Okay, yeah, no, I have a high night. I'm a nice for me, and I pick up for another general shop in the corner and say I'm an epic. That is so much promising as I'm to show me your bottom. So you're from a fast or my bottom and some other young bottle. Kaneshi as well. If you decide I had a change in started maybe an region because the sun and city were from Mukana and say, Yama, I'm a situation.
Okay, so what he's saying is that right now, since the rains are coming and the rains come with floods, they lift up and take in their items or their wares into their shops to prevent them from being damaged by the rains that come. Also, he's telling me that they promise that the gutters will be done. I want to ask him who specifically promising that. But why am I not promising to show me a gutters?
Oh, I ban our promises of their gutters, Mama, and this is a man started to start Kadamo Madeba. The actual man, Momo and a Kataka, but Omunyan, by a mob way, Sanabay and Suna, that year the blue. Then you saw more of you. And
okay, so he's saying once again that the government has promised to do the gutters for them to help drainage work smoothly and prevent the flooding from causing them a lot of damage to their wares and their items being sold right here at Kaneshi First Light.
While you were engaged, he made mention of some desilting that should happen, and also what they are going to do for their shops. Have they started the process now, or they are waiting for the rains to come, then the place gets flooded before they would pick or take action to remedy the situation when there is flooding in the area?
Okay, when we send you to choke gutters now. because I said, oh, my year, I must have to tell 1 year, BB, I found say, yeah, almost be rapid sleep because of the Massa. And I said,
yeah, you say, yeah, and a pretty, you got them. But the chain moment I entry, the chain I feel a got on my got and I am about rubbish in idea, I will make it. And the pretty, you shouldn't tell you, you know, yeah, boy, a song of mine. You say, yeah, I can't every day. It's one of these Rabinian, you rubbish in the got on them. No, you know, for number 4.
Okay. So from what he is saying, he's telling me that every morning they make sure that they themselves take out rubbish from the gutters, you know, and then gather them at the side of the roads. And the only thing that is a bother as far as that's concerned is when the sand and other items, substances gather inside the gutters and the waterways. But aside that, I think they are saying that they are okay with all of that.
Of Zoom Lion or the service providers, how often do they come to that area to get refuse out of the space?
Our 3 days, you know, for ball and armor. 3 days, you know, for ball and armor.
Okay. So from what he's telling me, this particular individual, he's telling you that they come here every maybe 3 days or more and come and pick the rubbish that they gather at the side of the road. So they gather the rubbish themselves from the gutters, and then Jimlao comes in maybe 3 days or more later, and then comes to pick up the rubbish.
Let's find out from them what they also make of the coming rains and how prepared they would be in the First Light area. In fact, that area is it's a place where every now and then when it rains, the place floods. Pamprum, Abosokai, Obechebi, Lamte area. I'm sure because of the construction of the Obechebi Lamte runabout, so that area too gets flooded. But now that I think they are done with the phase 2 of the project, so you'd find the issue going down small. Another bad area is the Musuku or the Moose area along the Fankor to Achimota stretch. So this is the outer lane. Yeah, this is what you are seeing on the screens. Outer lane. And the problem with this area we've always been talking about is how choked the drains are.
Philip,
and the
beats
drains
my
get
imagination, you know.
As a result of sand. The sand in the waste materials, plastic waste like we stated, and a lot of things. And also we have open drains. Yeah. And certainly if you have open drains, you should expect that the sand will get stuck in there. And I don't know how often they embark on communal labor to get these drains desilted.
As I was saying, it beats my imagination because you see our highways so choked that cars find it even difficult to use the road. And I'm like, what is going on? Look, some parts of East Legon, especially Shashi, when it rains or when we have heavy downpour, you should go on that stretch of the road and see for yourself. It's very disheartening and disturbing. And you see people trying to empty their waste cans or trash into the gutters with the mindset of insuno de nebeko, typical Ghanaian way of thinking. Anyway, we have our colleague Stephen Wainompe back on the line. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Jika.
Good to have you back.
Sorry?
Good to have you back.
Yes, good to be back.
Right, we lost you briefly, but have you been able to get some more residents to engage so we see what they think or how ready they are for the rains?
Yeah, so I'm standing here with a gentleman who also owns a shop. Yeah, so his name is Nana Poku, and then he's, as we speak, he's holding a broom and trying to, sweep the water from the sidewalk here at Kaneshi First Light. According to him, this happens whenever it rains, so they have to do this whenever it rains, sweep the water from the sidewalk so they can then use that sidewalk to, go up and about their daily business. Also, he's telling me that, so there's a gutter here at the side where the shops are based, and then you can clearly see that the rubbish has been brought out by the water when it overflowed. So I think that was when we hadn't gotten here. That was earlier today. So you can see that there's rubbish that's been brought by the water to the edge of the road itself. It's just lying there, and then the residents and then the shop owners, they are the ones who are doing the job of grabbing that rubbish and then we're making a little pile at the side of the road and waiting for it to be collected.
Right.
Right. So,
Okay.
Steve, thanks for your time and keep monitoring events for us there. What we are seeing in the sky is the rain has stopped a bit, and we are just hoping and praying that there won't be any flood in the area, especially Kaneshi. I keep mentioning Kaneshi because it's a hub market area, and people's properties or wares or items or products often get spoiled as a result of the flood in the area. Imagine you are selling a refrigerator and the place is standing. You get a lot of people selling their second-hand fridges and refrigerators there. So if water should enter into that electronic appliance, imagine
losing money
it's
from
going
your
to
business.
get spoiled. And you made mention of the Shashi area. Another space in front of the University of Ghana, the other entrance where the stadium is, you would see that that place also gets flooded.
A lot.
But just recently, a group, bus stop boys and other individuals went there to desilt the
gutters,
drain so that at least when it rains, it will move. What we are calling for is for the authorities to do what is needful, because Environmental Protection Authority has warned that this year we should expect more rains. And if you are saying just a drop or two or three falling down and there isn't any flood, maybe we are excited, but we don't know what lies ahead of us. Just recently, the president also commissioned a group that's supposed to go around to ensure that flood-prone areas are dealt with, and areas where people are also building on waterways or in waterways should also be dealt with. The Ramsar side, Sakumo Ramsar side, Malam, Tema area, and other places too should also be dealt with. So fortunately, in Accra, it rained, but no great luck yet. The rains or the water has receded, and areas like the Ofankor to Achimota Road, the Shashi area, the Weja area, the Kaneshi First Light area, we are not seeing much of a problem there. But I hope we are going to prepare more and better for the rains ahead.
Of course, most definitely. We all have to be citizens and not spectators, and do make sure that as you are gathering your refuse from the house, do not go and throw it into the drains hoping that when the rain comes down, it will take it away. It won't take it anywhere. It will come back to all of us. So thank you so much for joining us on this morning's episode of Breakfast Daily. It's been an amazing time spent with you here on television. We are grateful that you spent time with us. To those who sent your messages, thank you. It's time to call it a day. My name is Jifa Kedi Akutu, and I did this with
Philip Latte. Many thanks for your time, and keep watching Channel One TV.